Hey guys, it's Glenn from glenscarcollection.com, and today we're going to see why this 2009 Honda S2000 CR sold for $112,000. Remember, if you like what you see on the channel, hit the subscribe button, like and share this video so our channel can grow, and leave your thoughts whether this car was worth $112,000, and if it isn't, what you would have bought instead. Alright, so if you follow the channel, you know I've owned a couple S2000s. I love them. And is there a better car than the Honda S2000 CR? Probably not, especially for track use or for collectability. Now, this was sold on Bring a Trailer. It actually sold on February 17th, 2021, so you can go look up the auction. This is a very, very low mile car, 985 miles, so not even 1,000 miles. Now the CRs actually give you a little history on them. They were only made 2008, 2009 model year. S2000s as a whole, in model years from 2000 to 2009 here in the US, 66,000 were sold. Only 699 were CRs, and they were only in the final 2 years, 2008, 2009. They came with a hard top as standard, and there was no soft top. So if you wanted to remove the hard top, you couldn't take it with you. It came in 4 colors: white, which is the rarest color; black, which is the one you see here and the most common; Rio Yellow Pearl; and Apex Blue. Typically white and blue sell for the most, white for the rarity, and hey, it's a white Honda, and obviously a lot of people like the Apex Blue. When these were new in 08 and 09, even in 2010, 2011, I remember searching Auto Trader, and most of these cars, many of the cars were unsold, especially yellow ones. Now, they were the ultimate S2000. They have a slightly quicker steering rack. They have aero with because that's where the regular car suffers from, especially on a road course. It has this stiffer suspension, and it really is a track monster. People I know that did buy these cars, they were flooded on the autocross scene. If you did buy a CR, most likely that's how you used it. And a lot of these cars were wrecked on the track or have high mileage. I remember maybe 5 years ago, probably more than that, trying to buy a CR, and the average price for them back then was about $25,000. So this car has such low mileage, and remember, Bring a Trailer charges a $5,000 buyer's premium. So that 112,111, which is the final price, you have to add $5,000 to it. So that's $117,111. Then you're going to pay tax in your home state, so you're going to be well into the 125 area when you get this car. And remember, if you drive it a couple thousand miles, it's seriously going to decrease what it's worth. So I did a video a while ago, last year, probably in May or June of last year. There was a 1,000-mile Rio Yellow Pearl 2008 S2000 CR. Now this is a 2009. Had 1,000 miles, sold for $76,500. So I would have said that this car probably would sell in the 80,000 range. That would be my guess. Now if you get more miles, like 4,000 miles, last year, a 4,000-mile black CR just like this, and that's what I'm showing pictures of here. This car that sold for $112,000, the pictures were taken by an iPhone. They don't even format for this video. So I'll sprinkle in a couple pictures of those, but I'm using other black CRs. So a 4,000-mile 08 CR sold for $48,000. So the buyer that bought this car, probably this is the lowest mileage CR in existence. And if he locks it away somewhere, maybe it'll be worth more money one day. But if you drive it 1,000 miles, the value is going to drop down, which is only 15 more miles, to about $76,000. And if you drive it 3,000 miles for 4 total, it's going to drop down to 48. So unfortunately, as gorgeous as this car is and all original as this car is, it's going to have to sit for a long time and won't be able to be driven. Now, also about the CRs are unique is a standard spec CR with no options, had no radio, no air conditioning, but 90% of those people added that back in. So just like this car has air conditioning and a radio added back in. But it is a gorgeous car. Don't know if it's going to go up in value. Perhaps it will if it stays under 1,000 miles. The shame of it is you wouldn't be able to drive it. But these cars are definitely showing that Honda S2000s are collectible. Even we see really high prices on the regular AP1s and AP2s. So to make these collectible, you really have to keep these cars all stock. That's what I really see. You can modify these cars, supercharge them, make them fast, do kinds of suspension, make them track monsters. It definitely will hurt the value, but you'll have one awesome driving S2000. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Is this car worthy of that $112,000, really $117,000 with the buyer's premium? So the way Bring a Trailer works is they charge you a 5% buyer's commission up to a max of $5,000. So this definitely hit the max of $5,000. Another thing to check on these S2000s, especially low mileage ones, they probably have the original tires. That may be worth well for auctions, but obviously you don't want to drive a car that's on 10-year-old tires, 15-year-old tires. So I noticed when shopping for low mileage S2000s, the seller will always tell you, whether it's a dealer or individual, oh, the tires have a ton of tread left on them. They're still good. They're not, because tires have oil in them, they're rot from the inside out, and if they're more than 5 years old, you really should replace them. Could you get away with 6 or 7-year-old tires? Probably. But my first S2000 I bought, it was a 2004. I bought it in 2014, so it was 10 years old. The car only had 9,000 original miles, so the tires looked really good. They had a ton of tread left, because it was a 70-year-old man, 81-year-old man I bought the car from. He had bought it new on his 70th birthday, so he never drove it hard, so the tires had a ton of tread left. I drove 3 hours home to my house, and there were chunks missing of those tires because I was driving at higher speeds, and those cars were really dry rotted, even though they looked good for the outside. So I learned my lesson that day, and always replace tires on the car. So you have to factor that into the price. If it needs $1,000 for tires, that should be factored in on the price. So let me know what you guys think here. Was this the best S2000 CR available? I think so, unless it was Apex Blue or Yellow, the two colors I love. But yeah, this is probably a museum quality example that the owner can have for many years to come. I'm sure he's an S2000 fan or a Honda fan. I love these cars. I've owned a bunch of S2000s, a bunch of NSXs, so I'm a big fan of the brand as well. What would you have bought instead? For $112,000, I probably would buy a 997 GT3, probably a 997.2 GT3, and I think you can make that purchase all day long. Let me know in the comments below what you would purchase. There's no wrong answer here. If you would purchase this car, say so. If you would purchase a GT3 or 911 Turbo or, I don't know, Corvette ZR1 or maybe the new Corvette Z06 coming out, maybe a Shelby GT500, maybe an NSX, first generation NSX. Let me know those in the comments below. Again, another great car, another great sale. The bargain of the century actually is this 2008 Apex Blue CR that sold in January. Had about 57,000 miles, I think, for $39,000. Now I saw that, I missed that auction. I would have bought that car. 57,000 miles, Apex Blue, clean Carfax, and that sold for just $39,000. Now that's the bargain of the century, because I think at that price you can probably put another 10,000, maybe even 20,000 miles on this car, and it's still probably worth 30 something, maybe even 39,000. All right, guys, remember to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.